Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Ishana, talking women's football. And Ishana, it was a friendly in Wembley between the number one ranked team in the world and the number two ranked team in the world, US, England. We could not have asked for a better atmosphere. Maybe we could have seen some goals, but the atmosphere was electric.
Yeah, I mean, 80,000 at Wembley, it was awesome. And it was one of those moments where I feel like you can feel both the economic and cultural impact of women's soccer and where it's going. And it was super exciting.
Yeah, I want to start there. What a showcase it was for women's football in general, because this stadium was packed to the brim in terms of the 80,000, right? And it was just an electric atmosphere. And you could see from the beginning, it felt like a World Cup semifinal.
I know. It was really interesting because many times through that game, I completely forgot that it was a friendly. And I want to start off by saying I think that this was a very evenly matched game because we were obviously missing triple espresso, but England was missing a lot of their players as well. You know, James, Ella Toon. So we were pretty much, I would say, it was a realistic portrayal of what this would look like in a major international tournament.
Yeah, and I think that showed through in the caginess of the match a little bit, and the intensity of the match. And both teams had chances. Well, let's talk about that right now. But it was a little bit of a first half, which I felt the U.S. women's national team dominated, and the second half I felt was very even. Would you agree in terms of that?
Yeah, I would say the first half, the US was dominating, and then honestly, England slipped into this low block, which I don't know what they were doing exactly. But then the second half, I would say it was even until about the 60th, 70th minute. Then I think England was dominating. And they finally gave us a little bit of a run for our money. And, this is potentially a listener's last set of games on the US women's national team. And, I don't know. We have two top tier goalies on the US, on England. So it was nice to see them kind of showcasing a little bit of that. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting start to the match because, you had Alyssa Thompson, you had Lynn Williams up front, and then you had Sears. And, we talked about triple espresso not being there. You kind of see, I think the movement was good and the ball possession was good from the U.S. perspective. And some of the same things, I thought the U.S. played a very good first half. It's just that final finishing, you realize how important those three are in terms of getting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think, especially a player like Trinity Rodman, she just tends to take more risks, and that was my big issue with. I honestly think we should have won the game. I really do, and I think, especially in the first half, we were being a little too precious with things, and I thought we could have had more shots on target. I mean, England wasn't doing much in terms of pressing us, and I think we could have capitalized off that. And a player like Trinity Rodman is going to try for those. One thing I did like is especially in the first half, when she was on the pitch, I thought Lynn Williams did a good job of tracking back and defending, and that's something that she does quite well. I always enjoy seeing her on the pitch. I think she's just a solid presence, whether it's a sub or a starter. I mean, this is something that other players who play up in the nine, like Holland, people are always criticizing him for, like, they want him to track back more, defend. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting thing. And then I really, really liked seeing both Kruger and Fox, but especially Fox playing really up there. I think she had some great runs. I thought
she was like a little bit more central too, like a little tucked in too. I think that was nice. So
yeah, she played more narrow. She had that one, and actually in the second half where she cut in. I think they thought she was going to cut in, but she passed. And if someone was up there in that spot, that would have been perfect. I thought Rose Lavelle had a great game. There were some people who did not have a great game, though. I don't. Lindsay Horan, we've talked about how inconsistent she is, and this was definitely not her best match. But I think one thing that made a huge difference was when Yasmin Ryan came on.
Yeah. That's
Great.
what I was gonna talk to you. So in terms of players that impressed for this match, you can talk for both sides, England too as well. This is a global show, but I thought Yasmin Ryan, wow, like what a performance! As soon as she came in, it was like causing a lot of dangerous moves and havoc.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought she was great. I thought England defensively was really good as well. I think our defense, it was a very well matched up game. I mean, we have Naomi Girma, whose tackles, her timing is just so crazy, so good. But I thought Carter was also excellent back there. Um, so, I think Russo started to play better towards the end. And then in terms of like I said, I thought Rose Lavelle had a good game. I thought Coffee played pretty well as well, with her. I always love the midfielder shirt tuck in a la Rodri. I mean, it's this, I don't know, someone needs to study why these midfielders love to do that. Obviously, they probably don't want their shirts pulled and, fouls like that, but it's an interesting, I can't not pay attention to that,
I thought an interesting matchup was Lucy Bronze against Alyssa Thompson, because you sort of had the young pace against the veteran in terms of Lucy Bronze, and I think Bronze actually handled it well. You can see though, as usual, Alyssa Thompson, when she gets a couple moves, she puts herself in dangerous positions.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I think Alyssa Thompson, to me, is the only player who takes those same sorts of risks as maybe a Trinity Rodman there on the wing, and I would say Ryan as well. But I thought Sears played a little bit safe,
Yeah, I would
which
agree.
is it's okay. I mean, she's new on the pitch. I thought Corbin Albert was not super additive also when she came on the pitch. But I will say, like, especially for these NWSL players, I mean, they're done. They can go full force. I was impressed with, the other players who are still playing and took the time out. To be honest, when Emily Fox went down like that, I really was nervous. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, Arsenal will not be happy about that situation, given that they have a lot of important things both in the Champions League and WSL. But the defense. So you mentioned the defense. I mean, Naomi Girma and Emily Sonnet has really come into
Yeah.
this role, right? She's really filled this role nicely.
I think it's a great position for her. I mean, obviously, Tierna Davidson is fit now, and we'd love to see her, but Sonnet is solid, and I think she's developed into such a consistent player back there.
Yeah. So overall, would you say it was a successful day in the office for the U.S. Women's National Team to go into Wembley? Or would you feel they would be a little bit disappointed because they had opportunities? They probably should have won the match.
I mean, look, in the Emma Hayes era, the U.S. Women's National Team has yet to lose. They have drawn, they have not lost. And so I think Hayes can walk out and be like, look, this is a good result. I thought it was okay. I mean, I do think we should have won, but I would rather have them take this draw than play a little bit riskier and then go in losing, because at the end of the day, even though these are friendlies and this is when you're supposed to experiment with young talent, this did not feel like a friendly.
No.
It started off super exciting. It got a little slow towards in that time, but something I like about both these teams is they play very similarly. They're very methodical. They do play horizontal a little bit more, and they really take their time. And like you said, it's just really those final touches that they weren't able to capitalize off of. Yeah. But I think we should be okay. I'm really excited for next game. I don't know. I hope she continues. I might like to see a player like Hal Hirschfeld play, but I want to see what we continue to do with this starting lineup. I hope she doesn't switch it up too much.
Yeah, exciting. Another match for the U.S. Women's National Team in the Netherlands as the U.S. Women and England finish 0-0 at Wembley. Final thoughts, Ashana, as we finish up this match. A great showcase, I think, for women's soccer. Another great showcase for Alyssa Nair as that was her penultimate match. So, another exciting performance, I think, overall.
Yeah, I mean, It was exciting. It was super fun to watch, and I am just looking forward to next game, and hopefully we can walk away with the W.
Yeah. So all you US Women's National Team fans out there, if you joined these videos, please subscribe to the channel. We'll say it loudly and proudly today. Go USA. That's a good celebration.